I think we're live. I think we're live, and I think I've got my camera set up and the audio now connected and working properly here. Let me close this fancy lid on the Saturn 4 Ultra as well. So yeah, that's right. We're going to be doing the launch today for the brand new Elegoo Saturn 4 and the 4 Ultra. I also just realized that I don't have my chat open, so let me grab that real quick here so that we can it helps if I can actually communicate with y'all as we're doing this and having fun with this. So let me see. I'm just getting this open. Hey, everybody. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, depending on where you are. Yeah, it's bright and early here on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast of the United States, it's going to be very early. So we have the Saturn 4 and the Saturn 4 Ultra that are launching later this morning here in just under 1 hour. So I'm going to be doing some giveaways here this morning in the first hour, and then some giveaways in the second half as well after the official products launch. And I'm going to be telling you guys about the Saturn 4 and the Saturn 4 Ultra, as well as showing you some of the things that I printed with it. We're going to get some things printed on this and check it all out. Are you able to hear me okay? Boost the audio. Boost the audio. Okay, boost the audio. I got you. Let me double check this here. Yeah, my audio levels were way low. All right, is that better? Hopefully this is a lot better. Hopefully the audio is significantly better now. Can you, is it better now? Much better now? Volume up. Still? Volume is low. It's too quiet. Oh no, it's still too quiet. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can go back into the other settings here and adjust this further. This is, never a dull moment when I'm doing any sort of streaming here. So let's see. We've got the volume, we've got the input here. I can maximize this over here. Hopefully, is that better? Much better? Okay, good. Okay, yeah, there we go. Much better. Okay. Apologies. There's always got to be something like some sort of snafu with this. Also, I'm very excited. I have not only one camera here, but I also have, if I can toggle it, another camera. So I've got two different angles that I can talk with you guys on. I'm going to be able to show off some cool prints with this angle here. As you can see, it's like way more up close. So when we get to showing off some of the 3D prints, I'll be able to jump in there and do that all with you, with everyone. Let me pop the chat out so I can see it a little bit better, because I am an old man and probably need to start wearing glasses here at some point. How do I do this again? There we go. Pop that up so I can see it a little bit better. But yeah, so we are going to be talking about and showing off the new Saturn 4. I've had this is the Saturn 4 Ultra. Unfortunately, I don't have the Saturn 4 yet. I believe it's in shipping still somewhere here, hopefully arriving somewhere sometime later this week. I was hoping to have that on hand so I could show off both of them to you all, but we just have the Saturn 4 Ultra here. I'm going to be going through some of the features that differentiate the two, and there's one specifically that's like, I think, the really big one, in my opinion. Has to do with that tilting mechanism, which is working so good, so good. But we'll get into that here in just a second. I do need to include, so that you guys can find the sale here later this morning. Let me make sure to do this because I always forget to do these things. Pop that in here. Hopefully things like this work. And then I can pin. So if you're looking for the link to the Elegoo site and ended up ordering one of these in the next hour, you'll be able to do that here. The sale starts in the next in under an hour, so in 55 minutes, 54 minutes technically here, and we are looking at some really awesome updates with this new printer. And not only do we have that, sorry, one small thing that I forgot to grab for you all that I want to make sure that I have in all this. I've got a bunch of notes here as well, obviously. But what's incredible to me is not only are we continually getting updates to the Saturn lineup here, Elegoo, this is by far the easiest resin 3D printer that I have ever worked with. It's we've gotten to a point where it's like you can take it out of the box, plug it in, and almost start printing. There's no bed leveling with this anymore. So it's got the auto bed leveling. And what's even crazier about this is with the Saturn 4 Ultra specifically, because not only does it have this fancy tilting lid that I'm so far really enjoying as well, but the Saturn 4 Ultra has the new tilting bed mechanism here. So instead of your standard where your typical resin 3D printers or all the other Saturns that we've seen previously just sort of they peel away and then come back up. This actually tilts and it's going to allow you to print a good bit faster than any of the other Saturn 3D printers. And what I'm so far impressed with this is not only is it like just stupidly easy that I can just get in there and start printing with it, there's almost nothing that I had to do when it came to setting this up. So normally when you work with a resin 3D printer, you're doing things like calibrating the resin, figuring out what your lift speeds are, and all that other stuff. There's like a zillion settings. The only thing that I've been concerned with is my bottom exposure and my normal exposure. That's literally it. There is a speed setting on the machine that I can go either do I want it to print slow or do I want it to print fast? And of course, I want it to print fast. And it prints so much faster than any of my other 3D printers that it's like it's been nuts. I'll give you guys some time comparisons, even compared to my Vroom settings that I've had to spend, numerous prints and dialing in on my Saturn 3 Ultra, which prints really fast. This still prints faster with like no tweaking whatsoever to it, which has just kind of been the amazing factor for me. But let me jump in and talk with you all about a bunch of the different settings, or not settings, but features that we've got within this. I also wanted to mention that, again, I'm going to be doing a giveaway here in just a little bit. So we've got a whole bunch of resin that Elegoo has given me to give out to folks here. So we're going to be putting some links here in the next few minutes here where you guys can join in on that giveaway and jump in and find some of that. But so when it comes to the Saturn 4 versus the Saturn 4 Ultra, the big difference that you're going to find between them is the Saturn 4 Ultra has the camera and the lifting mechanism here. So the VAT lifting mechanism. And also, sorry, it also has Wi-Fi built into it as well. So those are the three major differentiators between these. And this lifting mechanism here is, again, what's going to enable you to print, I think, significantly faster than all of my other Saturns that I've ever used before this with, again, like no setting tweaks. All I'm dealing with is just the exposure and bottom exposure, which has just been a wild, fun process. But both of them have the new tilted the top here, so you're not having to deal with taking that on and off. You can just easily slide this open and closed when you're working with it. Both of them are also working with, let me put on some gloves here because I have been printing with this. But both of them have a newly designed both of them have this vertical touchscreen display. So this is something different between the Saturn printers. So now we have this vertical display. I'm honestly not sure what the point was. It looks really cool and it works just fine. So I'm cool with it as well. It also is going to do a calibration every time you go to start up the printer. So I'll turn it off here. And when you go to turn it on, it does a calibration check, which is really cool. So here, we'll give it a second. But it runs through a checklist here, calibrating, just making sure that verifying that certain things are working correctly. There are sensors built into this as well, so that it can help identify things like print failures or if there's enough resin in the vat before you print with it, as well as if there's any sort of debris inside of the vat before you start printing. So when it does the auto bed leveling there, it'll identify those. So here it's going to do a whole bunch of these different checks. It's checking a bunch of the different motors. It's checking the light before it goes in here. And it's going to check the fans. There's also a LED, the light temperature sensor in there. So it's going to continue. You'll see in the, again, you can't really see here, but in the corner of the display, it's got a temperature reader. So it's going to let you know what the overall temperature is of the display while you're printing and using the printer. Sorry, let me pull up the, just realize I'm yammering on and I can't see anything. Yeah, so let me, before I jump into all this, I see a bunch of comments about where the stuff is on the side. So here, USB is on the back, so on the side back section here, along with the toggle switch, the power cable. The Saturn IV Ultra is going to have the adapter for the Wi-Fi, and again, that's just very similar to what we've seen with the Saturn III Ultra, and I think it was the Mars 4 Ultra. So you've got that high-speed file transfer, so you can wirelessly send sliced files from your printer to the machine. You can also, what's really cool about the Saturn IV Ultra is it's got a camera in here as well, so that I can monitor my prints remotely. So Box is actively the slicer that's set up at the moment that's working with this. So directly in the free version of Box, you can access the camera for the feed of the printer. I know Lychee, the team over at Lychee, already has the Saturn IV Ultra as well, and are putting out an update for the Lychee support for this printer. I think they said that was coming out today, but they need some additional time to work out how to map in the camera support, which is going to be cool, so that they'll have that. That camera is also on the Saturn IV Ultra, is going to provide you with different, I think they said there's a whole bunch of different functions that it can help you identify during the printing process. So if it can help see if a print is failing and provide you with alerts here on the machine if you wanted to continue or not with that. At the moment, I've just been using it to view the printer from the other room. So while I've been working on editing videos in the other room, I don't have to physically come over here and check on the print. I can just use the camera directly there. Oh, sorry. The other cool thing. So here is the build plate is now locked in with this little lever, and it works so well. I don't know. I'm loving the fact that you don't have to level anything on this anymore. And it's got a nice little heft to it. It's got that same textured pattern. Everything sticks extremely well to this. If anything, it might stick too well to this textured pattern. The only thing that I've really been messing with is my bottom exposure settings. So I've been just trying to I've continually been lowering and lowering those to make it easier for me to get my prints off. You'll see here where I've already nicked up that ever so slightly, scuffed it, trying to get some of the prints off there that I'll be showing you. But yeah, you just take this and then you slide it in, and then it just clamps directly into place. It's so much easier than the ball joint things that we had before. Also, again, auto leveling. So there are some springs in this. So as it's lowering in, it will automatically level out that bed. And I have had 0 print fails with this so far. I've had no issues getting this thing up and printing. It's been just a really smooth process so far of working with it. One minor thing that I don't think Elegoo's called out at all, and I'm going to show it to you guys, that I was very happy about, because one pain point with working with resin is how messy it can be. So I'll show you this here before I'll show you the other thing that goes with this. But here is the updated vat design. And I did do a check because I was like, oh, is this vat, does it hold the same amount of resin as the Saturn III did? And yes, they hold the exact same amount for where the max fill line is there. But what you'll notice here is, hopefully, actually, let me do this. I forgot I have this whole other camera where I can just pop this over. Here we go. Look at this. Boom. So it's got these little circle Mickey Mouse ears here for pour spouts to make it easier to pour the resin out. And what I'm really liking about this, which is I wasn't aware of it until I actually started using it, but this has greatly decreased my messiness when it comes to pouring resin out, because normally you just have like the little corner indentation there, a little spillage area. But what would happen is the resin would overflow along the edges in other areas. And now it really just does contain it into that little reservoir area, pour spout, when it's pouring out. The other thing that I've been complaining about for years to them, and I don't know if it was me and they listened to me or what, but we now have 2 pour spouts, one on each corner. because what happens is it used to be just in one of the corners, and I would go in, and typically that would be in the back corner. And so when I take the vat out, I'd have to like rotate the vat around to get it to pour in. And I'm talking like this is super minor detail things, but it was those just the little things that would frustrate me that they fixed on this, which is just awesome. The other cool thing with this, I'll keep you here on this one, is we now have this cover here. Now, I don't know if this cover is just on the Saturn IV Ultra, and maybe Elegoo in the comments can clarify, is if this just comes on the Saturn IV Ultra, if it's with the Saturn IV as well. This, you definitely want to be using this with the Saturn IV Ultra. And let me, again, flip the camera here. Ta-da! I'm liking this. I'm liking this. So here, it's a drip tray, and it just locks right into place. It's a plastic drip tray so that when you take your prints off and you take it out here, you're not dripping resin all over the front of the printer or worrying about getting resin into the opening of where the tilt function is for the screen. So that helps really protect all of that, and has been, again, really easy to snap on, snap off. It catches all the resin when I'm taking the prints off here, and just in general working with the printer. This has been a really nice addition to this that I'm excited to see added on here. And yeah, it's worked really well. As I'm continuing to talk through this, let me realize what time it is. It's time to put in the link for the giveaway. I have the first giveaway that we can pop in here. So I'm gonna let this run for, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes or so. But I'm gonna put this in the chat. Hopefully we don't crash this. And hey, Jeff, thank you for joining and helping answering questions in here. But there is a link to Gleam where you can get a chance to win one of 10 different bottles of resin from Elegoo. I don't know which bottle of resin they're going to be sending you. It's a mystery in itself. So you have a link there that you'll be able to sign up, and we got 10 winners that are going to win a bottle of 1 kilogram or 1 gram, a bottle of resin. So that'll be fun. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here. But yes, so we got the tilting mechanism here. There is no built-in heater. I know that was a really big question that a lot of folks online, when I was posting about this, or just in general when Elegoo was posting, asking if there was a heater built in, like a vat heater or just a general print heater. No, there's not. However, Elegoo is launching a universal heater that you can use on pretty much, it sounds like any of your 3D printers or resin 3D printers. So that's going to be, I think, $50 is what they're going to be launching with that. I believe that's going to be up there today. I'm excited to get my hands on that. I want to put one of those in my Jupiter SEs. So that would be a huge addition for me, especially in the colder months here in upstate New York, where it gets pretty cold here. And that will help with the overall printing process. I would have liked to have seen a heated vat, but maybe next year we'll see that. I don't know. But for now, at least we have the heater unit that will go in here as well. One other difference between this and last year's model is there's no USB entry here for a filter or anything like that we had in the previous units. So that's just something to keep in mind with this. And again, the Saturn IV does not have the tilting mechanism here, so that's just going to work like our previous Saturn 3D printers, or our Saturn 3D printers, or it's just a static screen there. Also, for the tilting mechanism here, I've left the screen protector that came on there, and I've been printing with it, and it's worked just fine. It might add a little extra crinkling noise sound when I'm printing, but it's helping protect the screen from any potential, if by chance anything fails in there. But which is really cool is, again, it's got that resin sensor, so it'll detect if something's in the vat before I start a print, which should help make sure I don't puncture a hole in there. Oh, here is one other really cool thing that was, again, I don't know if it's going to be part of the Saturn IV. If the Saturn 4, if you have your, if the Saturn 4 has a Ethernet port on it or not. But for the Saturn 4 Ultra, since it has Wi-Fi, and as soon as I connected it to my network, there's automatic firmware updates that can be pushed to this printer. So it's continuously checking for updates to the firmware. And since I've had this, I've had 3 updates that have been made available for me to download and install to, continually tweak and improve this printer, which I was very happy to see. That was something that's really cool. Elegoo, please start implementing that across the board. Please, that's just awesome. Absolutely awesome. The other big factor that's coming in here with, I believe, both of these machines is the power loss resume functionality as well. So if you happen to be resin 3D printing, you lose power, and then power comes back on, you should be able to resume your print. Now, I have a video that I'm going to be working on that I'll be putting out here in the next few days, specifically on the Saturn 4 Ultra and all of the prints that I've seen, the detailed print times and ins and outs of the machine. That is one of the things that I still need to test on this, but I have heard it works just fine. So from other people that have been testing this, which is cool. So I have not tested that yet, but I will be. And then the other thing I wanted to mention again is this does have 2 speed settings on it. So there is a fast mode and a slow mode. So here, let me just double check here. Oh yeah, here we go. So one thing that it does have, I'm gonna actually start a print. I'm looking, not that I have a script, but I might have a little bit of a script. I have an outline here. So I was gonna start a print and show you guys an actual, this thing printing so that you can see it printing, you can hear it printing. So I'm using the Rapid Resin from Elegoo. This is my go-to resin now that I use. So I'm gonna pour a little bit of resin in there. And then we can get a print going. So I'm going to come in here. I think it's on my USB. So, this is the other cool thing. So with the, just like your Saturn 3 Ultra, the Saturn 4 Ultra has not only the USB storage, but also internal storage. So as you send files wirelessly to the printer, you'll be able to access those here. And then I can go through here. So I'm going to start this one. I've got just a little, it's like a quick 10-minute print that I can run off here and show you guys, and then we'll do something bigger. But this will give you a quick example of how it goes through and does a quick calibration check here. Warns you not to touch the machine as it's running its calibration checks, and then it's going to start the print process here. So first thing it's going to do is start lowering the build plate into the vat, and then it's going to double check and make sure that it senses that nothing's in there, and then level the build plate and start the print. Let me jump into the comments here. I think I mentioned, sorry, I'm just running through if I missed anything. We've got the self-test on the startup, redesigned vat, tilting vat on the 4 Ultra, got a drip tray, smart sensors in there. Honestly, I really do. This build plate, the quick release thing there, it's a really nice addition. I'll leave this open for just a little bit, and then I'm going to close the lid. But oh yes, sorry, I just saw a comment. ROK89. Yeah, there is on the back here, the back side of the printer, in that back corner, there is a removable back panel, so that if you did want to install some sort of a filtration device, or you wanted to work with the Elegoo, what is it, the Mate, the Air Mate, that can be directly connected through that opening in the back there. So you can have everything fully closed while printing, and then have the filtration running through the back of the printer. Yes, yep. So you got it. That's exactly right. There's the big circle right back there. Oh no! Go figure. Auto leveling failed. There we go. There's the sensor in action there. I wonder if I had something on the build plate. Just as soon as I took the gloves off. Let me break out my tools. Let's see. I'll confirm this. Move the bed up a little. Now you can see how this works. So that's the first time that I've had, go figure, as soon as I jump on the live stream, the first time I've had a bed leveling fail. I wonder if I didn't have this in. No, I have it in all the way. Double check that there's nothing in the... Yeah, there's nothing in my vat. Okay. I'm going to attempt that again. Let's see. Oh no, the camera keeps pulsing with the autofocus. Oh no. Does it really? That's great. Fantastic. I wonder if it's... All right, I'll figure out that separately. Let me start this back up again. Ta-da! Yeah, yeah, tripod. Yeah, this is the I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like I've had like 8 prints so far. No, this is the first time I've ever had any sort of detection when it's been doing the bed leveling. Go figure. It's during the live stream as well. I think I know what the issue is here. Hold on, give me 1 second with the camera. While this is starting, let me see if I can figure this out. No, I thought that was for sure it was it. Okay. Huh. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully that... Oh, shoot. Sorry, folks. This is getting started. I don't know if you're seeing the camera menu system. I was trying to figure out why the autofocus is going crazy. Yeah. Let's see. Nope, it's still doing it. God, okay. Let me do this instead. I think this one's being a little bit better. I don't know, but it's like way zoomed in here. All right, good news is the printer is printing now. Hold on, let me do this. I can come in here and I can move my garbage can out of the way. Okay, there we go. All right, so let me see. I'm going to jump back onto this one. So here you can see, hopefully the autofocus will behave a little bit better if it's not trying to zoom in on my ugly mug. Yeah, I'm assuming it's something with the tracking on that camera. I'm sure I've got some kind of not just the autofocus, but here you can see it drooping down. I also saw a number of questions about what happens if you like overfill this. Yeah, I'm assuming it would eventually spill over if you did go past, like significantly past the max fill line. I have filled it past the max flow line like ever so slightly, and it was completely fine. I'm not going to push that by any means because I don't want it to overflow, but at no point when I had got it to the max fill line and it was printing did I ever feel like it was going to be pouring over the top or anything like that with this new tilting mechanism. By the way, yeah, the pricing on this, I completely forgot to mention the pricing. Probably the most important part of all of this is the Saturn 4 is going to be $299, and then the Saturn IV Ultra is $399. And again, the differences between those two, the two machines, the big differences is the Saturn IV Ultra has the AI camera built into it. It has the tilting VAT, and it's got the Wi-Fi built in, so you can have wireless file transfer and viewing of that camera and all that sort of stuff that comes with that. Does the lid detach and come off? I mean, technically, yeah, it can come off. There's bolts on the inside of the frame that will allow you to just take it off, but it's not something that I don't think there's not like a quick latch release system or anything like that. Yeah, the drip tray, man. This thing is, I love this thing. I'm gonna need this on every resin 3D printer now. So I've only ever had one other printer that came with one of these, so it's really nice to see this being added on the Saturn IVs, or at least the Saturn IV Ultra. Again, I don't know if someone in the comments clarified if this is coming with the Saturn IV, but it is a really huge help in terms of keeping the front of my printer clean when I remove the build plate, and resin inevitably drips down, and it mostly catches it all directly in here, which is really cool. And it just clips right onto the, just slides right in, pop it right out. And it's just this plastic piece of plastic. I did, let's see what time it is. 9:34. We got a little bit of time here. I figure let me show you all some of the prints that I've done so far with this as well. Let me wipe my hands. So let me double check this. There we go. Okay, sorry. This is why I had the camera set up here. So I've got some really cool prints here. I printed 2 of these because I'm a psycho and perfectionist with things. So this is from the Lantern Lore, and this took just under 6 hours to print. Hopefully this is, let me try and look in here if it's zooming in. Yep. So this is part of their Thangs membership for Lantern Lore. And this turned out so good. I print everything at 0.05 layer height. And again, with the Saturn IV Ultra, it was just a matter of running some calibration prints to figure out what my exposure setting needed to be. And that was basically it. I'm not worrying about any of the other, there's no lift settings or anything like that that I have to worry about with this machine. So, and this printed pretty dang fast. I printed a second version here. This is the first attempt at this. I needed to put more supports on it, which is why I reprinted it. It had a little bit of a shift in the print. You'll see there, I think it's because I didn't have supports in between here, where it looked like it was trying to connect up by the teeth. So I went and reprinted it, and with more supports, and now this one just stunning. Oh, it's awesome. I'm so excited. I'm definitely getting that one painted. Definitely going to be getting that one painted. I also needed to, actually, let me show you these. I have some gloves on, gloves off, gloves on, gloves off, gloves on, gloves off. I printed a ton of Loot Studio miniatures. And I think there was 2 more that were on this that broke off. I have not removed the supports on all these, but they're all cleaned and dried, but not cured yet. So which is why I threw the gloves back on. But yeah, I'll be showing these off in my video, and I'm trying to remember how long this took to print. I don't have my notes on this one here. It was quick. I don't remember. I think it was like an hour and a half. An hour and a half maybe for this. An hour and a half, 2 hours maybe? It's got to be like an hour and a half. Because the reason why I say that is I printed some busts from Fotis Mint, and these were printed on the same build plate. Both of them sort of angled there. This one's cleaned up. I'm going to be doing some print compare so that you guys can see what these look like compared to the Saturn IIIs, and the slow setting versus the fast setting here on this printer, and then the print speeds between the Saturn III, the standard print speeds versus my Vroom settings. And again, this was a 1,921 layers, and this took 2 hours and 55 minutes to print. So just under 3 hours for these to print, and the Saturn III Ultra with my Vroom settings took 3 hours and 15 minutes to print. So slightly faster, but again, the big difference for me is I did zero tweaking with this. With my Saturn III Ultra, I had to spend like a day running print after print after print and tweaking the settings and going through and adjusting lift speeds and figuring out how fast can I get this to go to reliably print before it starts failing. I didn't do any of that with this. I just hit, I'm going to print it on the fast setting, and I adjusted my exposure, and that's it. And so the comparisons that I'll be showing are using the exact same exposure settings and the same bottom exposure, but everything else is obviously going to be slightly different between the two, just because of how everything lifts here. What I would be really interested in seeing is if there's a way to get in here and tweak that even further, because this is wicked fast, but can I get it to go even faster? I'm not quite sure how to do that yet, but I'll be trying to figure out how I can get in there and make this potentially print even faster. Or maybe Elegoo, put out another profile. You have slow and fast. Give us like a Vroom setting that's sort of the experimental setting that is going to just go blazingly fast. And then it's for those really quick test prints. Or if we just want to play around with it and see what we can do with printing, crazy fast. Yeah. Oh no, 1080 looks terrible. Don't tell me that. Let me see. Okay. So let's double check the print here. I'm gonna flip this back over to this. This says 38% done with the print. Should be done in a few minutes here. I figure let me back this other camera up as well, so it's not so much in my face. And turn that off. Okay. Can I see the printer? No, you can't see the printer. Hold on. I swear I know what I'm doing here. I'm a professional. Professional at screwing these things up. Okay. Let me swip the camera back over here. Yeah, the vat is actually lifting up and down. So it's tilting forward and down, or forward and down, just down. The front half of it is tilting down, peeling away from the build plate, and then coming back. So it's just going down for like a second and then coming back up, which is really cool. Yeah, I can zoom into the, let me see. Let's get a zoom in here. Let's see. Oh my God, this camera hates. Why does it keep flickering, the auto? Yeah, it's so dark in there. Let me see if I can brighten that up. There you go. So you can actually see it tilting in and out of the printer as it's printing there. So the build plate is also going to be moving up ever so slightly as it's working. Yeah, is it still too dark? It's still too dark. Let me do one of these. let me get a blue light in there. Oh my God. So at least you can see it tilting a bit there. Yeah, the big benefits is it's gonna allow you to print faster by the way that it's peeling away from the build plate. It's a little bit more of a smoother process when it comes to actually pulling this away. Yeah, Jacob, I have one. Hey, hi. Yeah, I do recommend wearing a respirator anytime that you're working near or around resin. I do have 2 air filtration units in here. I also have an overhead filtration system that I have turned off because you don't want to hear the fan going as I'm presenting. Normally, I am not here when I have prints going. I'm also never standing directly next to the printer while this is going on. This should be fine for 10 minutes or so that I'm working with it. I do have glasses that I'll typically wear when removing supports and those sort of things. And you'll always want to make sure that you're wearing gloves and protecting your skin whenever working with resin. Yeah, that's if you do have a FEP leak in there, there is the concern that it could spill down. I'm not entirely sure what would happen in that scenario. Obviously, that's why they have the sensors in there as well to help identify anything that's if anything's in the vat before you start a print and potentially puncturing it. There is also a FEP screen. Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong. There's a FEP screen, like a counter on here. So it's going to allow you, it sort of gives you a view of how frequently you should be potentially changing your FEP sheet as well. Yes, the build plate does move up and down as well, but it actually might be just static here. Technically, I don't know how, like, it's got to move up ever so slightly at points as the print is continuing to go, but it's so minor. Like, I'm not seeing it like your normal Resin 3 printer where it's completely lifting up and then back down. For the most part, this looks like it's just completely static as this vat is tilting down and back up again. And again, if this is something that you're not interested in whatsoever or concerned about, the Saturn 4 also has, the standard lifting mechanism. It does not have the tilting vat or anything like that. Yeah, let me see. That was a great question. Let me double check here. You need, someone asked in the comments how much space you need behind the printer for the lid. So lifting the lid up and back, you need a little bit of a clearance behind it here. So get a fancy digitally measuring tape, and guess what? The battery's dead. I'm going to ballpark it with that. Let me just do that. I can't find my other measuring tape. It is about... It's about 8 inches behind the printer. I don't know what that is in millimeters for people. You need about 8 extra inches behind the Saturn for the tilting head here for that to go back. So as the furthest back it's going, sorry, it's about 8.5 inches. Yeah. It's about 8.5 inches behind the printer is how far back that's going. Yes, yeah, the vroom settings for the Saturn 3 Ultra should be in my Patreon. I think they're just in one of the setting options there in the profile. I can double check that after the stream here. But let me double check this because we are getting near the time for the actual sale to start. I wanted to go in here and draw the winners for the resin giveaway. And I'll give you guys another minute. If you haven't already done that, there is a link that should be pinned in the chat there for Gleam for you to sign up, and you can win a bottle of resin from Elegoo, which is pretty cool. And then, let me see, what is this on? It's on me. Here we go. And then there's that lifting thing if you wanted to see more of the lifting. And then the... Yeah, so we'll do this drawing here in just a minute. I want to make sure that you guys have enough time as I continue to blabber on here. This print should be finishing up here in the next minute as well. And then I'm going to try and print something else, I think, afterwards. But we also have, make sure you come back after the go live for this printer. So if you're interested in picking up one of these, or maybe the heater element, or just checking out the sale, you can go over to Elegoo's site starting at 10 for the sales to start. And then make sure you come back, because I'm going to be giving away a Saturn 4 and a Saturn 4 Ultra. Thank you again to Elegoo. Elegoo is also the kind sponsor of this stream here and so many of the other videos that I've made here on my channel. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So that just finished, and we'll see this lifting up here. No! There we go. So that was a 17-minute print. And actually, I think that was on the... Hold on. Hold on. Oops. Printer mode. That was 17 minutes. I was gonna say that should have been quicker than 17 minutes, and it's because I had the printer on the slow setting, because that's what I was testing last night. So this would have technically printed faster if I had it on the high mode setting. So that's not even anything that you have to be concerned with in your print slicing profiles. The other really cool thing about this is I've used the same print file and then gone in here and changed that setting. So those test prints here, the Photo Cement prints, so the original ones I printed, I had it in the high setting, and then I went back yesterday and reprinted them in the low setting, and then was able to just run those. I didn't have to reslice anything. It was the same, the Elegoo goo file on the printer here, and just change it from fast to low, and had that printed. So I'll show that print off here in just a second. I did want to do this drawing before the... I'll give you guys another second or two. Let's see. I'll give you guys another 20 seconds here. I'll do it at 9:50. And we'll draw the winner. I need to drink some water. Yeah, the OG Saturn's awesome. It's amazing to me how, like, incrementally these have improved over the years, especially if you go from an older Saturn to something like this. It'd be a massive upgrade for you. All right, I'm going to draw the winners here. And okay. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I've got 10 winners here. I'm going to call out the names as best as I can. Let me screenshot this as well. All right, so I've got a Jack O'Donovan, I've got a bottle of resin, King Lars, Josh Ducray, Vlad Slav, Tyler Christensen, Cliff333, Gustav Dos Santos, Casey Clayton. Oh, great last name there. Forrest Ross, and Marcin Caletta. I'm horrible at reading in general, but those are the winners. Each of those people are going to get a bottle of resin from Elegoo. I'm going to be sharing the winners with Elegoo, so hopefully they can get in contact with you, and then you can get in contact with them, and then you guys can figure out where those need to be shipped to, and then go off and resin print something awesome. Let me update this here as well. So we have just a few more minutes until, yeah, congrats to all those winners. So again, pinned in the chat is a link that should take you to the Elegoo store. So if you're interested in picking one of these up for yourself, again, the Saturn 4 Ultra is $399. That has the tilting VAT mechanism there, the camera, and the Wi-Fi functionality built into it so that you can wirelessly slice and send files to the printer. Also, you can directly control now through Chitubox. You can control and view the files on the printer remotely, so I can remotely start my prints from within Chi2Box. I can view the camera directly from within Chi2Box. And again, just free. I don't have the paid version of Chi2Box. And then Lychee Slicer is also putting out an update to support this printer and the Saturn IV as well. And then they're working on the support for the camera as well. But I think they already have built in the Wi-Fi file transfer functionality there. And then the Saturn IV is $299. So it's the basic version. It's not going to have that tilting functionality built into it. And oh, that was a great Martin. Thank you. I just checked that this morning. So the question was, does this new build plate fit within the wash and cure station that Elegoo has? No, it just it can get in there, but it's not. No, I would say no. It doesn't. It's slightly too large for it to fit in there. You can, like, physically, yes, you can get it in there, but you're not going to be able to get it in there, if you know what I mean. That sounded weird now that I say that. Let's see. Let's see. All right, I'm going to try. Oh, yeah, here we go. Let me not make a ginormous mess as well. Let that drip back in there for a second. If I just printed a little Elegoo, oh man, you can't even see that, can you? I turned off the product focus. I printed Elegoo logo as I'm dripping resin all over my Wham Bam slap mat here. I'm gonna try and get this off as I'm making a mess. This is why I've got a huge slap mat here as well, just so I don't get resin all over the dang place. Yeah, I agree with some of the comments. Elegoo, I would love to see a larger resin cleaning solution there. So just a larger tray. So let me pop that off. Ta-da! I sliced that. There's something wrong with the geometry on the end of that file that it's still focusing on my face, isn't it? But this is just a quick, this was supposed to be a quick 10-minute print, but I used the slow mode on this. I'm going to toss this in the wash and cleaning station there. I do have another print that I'm going to get started here while we've got 5 minutes before this starts. Again, make sure you come back here because we are going to be giving away a Saturn IV and a Saturn IV Ultra within the next probably 45 minutes or so. So you want to make sure that you're here for that to participate and get access to that. So let's see. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, some people, Mr. 78K, yeah, some people do dunk the whole build plate in the vat. Or excuse me, not in the vat, in the wash and cure stations. Or at least dump the portion that has the prints directly on them to help clean everything off. I typically just remove everything and then we'll do that, but let's see. So here's this. Okie dokie. I got another print I'm going to load up here. Now that I've got it on the fast mode, this is, I'm going to be printing one of, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, and I love him to death. HPZ. He's got like a little kit Jeep. It's like a military Jeep, and I'm printing one of those in resin. Normally that's like an FDM print thing, but we're going to be doing that in resin here. So, but by the way, hopefully this is starting in 2 minutes here. I just wanted to call that back out again. If you're interested in buying one of those machines, head on over to Elegoo's website. You'll be able to pick one of those up. Those, again, the prices are $299 for the Saturn IV. Saturn IV does not have the tilting bed. It doesn't have the camera. It doesn't have Wi-Fi, but it has the auto bed leveling. It's got the sensors built into it. And the Saturn IV Ultra is going to run you $399. That is a nice little price dip that we've seen compared to the other previous Saturn releases. I'm excited about that. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Yeah. Mental. Yeah, I've been wondering about that. So they commented about it. You know, at the when you start the print, it has to go all the way up. I'm wondering if with a firmware update, Elegoo, please, if it doesn't have to do that and can just automatically start the print and go down. Does it always have to go all the way up to come back down? I don't know, but I would love to see it not have to do that. That was one of my callouts for the video as well. Was that Kevin? Did I see 3D printed props in here? Let's see. Yes, the Aaron, the build plate does have the exact same texture as the Saturn 3 Ultra and the Mars 4 Ultra. Let's see. Yeah, make sure to head on over to Elegoo's website. There's a pinned link there if you're interested in picking up one of these or seeing any other things that they might be. I don't think they're launching anything else, but you never know. You never know. They always have a few surprises there. But let me just clean here as we're talking. And then messaging back with my friends there. So, yeah, and then this print here, I think this next print will take us through. It should only be about 30-minute print, 35-minute print-ish. Should be right through to the giveaway, which would be good. If not, I'll just draw it early. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, the sale starts in 1 minute, less than 1 minute, starts in 30 seconds. Make sure if you're interested in one of these printers to jump on over there. Again, I've got a pinned link. That helps out the channel here. So if you use that, thank you very much. If you don't, no worries whatsoever. But if you do, thank you. Let's see. I am that internal heater. I'm going to need at least a few of those for some of my different machines. The other good thing is with that Elegoo heater, it's not just limited to the Elegoo printers. You can also use that with basically any other printer as long as there's enough space for it. And hopefully I'll have my hands on one of those here soon or at some point. Fingers crossed. Elegoo, please. After the firmware upgrade, it stops halfway through and just sits there. Oh no. Edutech, really? That's no good. Okay, here we go. We've got official page updates. Are they? I am looking here. I am looking. Hold on. Oh no, is the site down? Is their site down? Oh jeez. Yeah, I'm checking too on my end. I'm trying to get this to load. Yeah, it looks like the site might be down. Good job, you guys. That's not good. Let's see. Man, how big of a delay is there between this? I'm just now realizing that there's, like, I don't know how to control the delay. Yeah, I think their site is, I'm trying. There we go. I think it's working now. I think. Um, okay. Saturn 4 Ultra. Okay, and then trying to load up the Saturn 4 and link it here for you guys. There we go. I think that's working now. Sorry, I'm also trying to do this on my end with you guys. Let's see. Sorry, we're going to resume here in a second. Four. There we go. There we go. I think that's... Yeah, we're going to start the new giveaway here in just a second. We're going to give it a minute because I know people are trying to get in here for this as well. I could just do this. Yeah. Is that... I think people are getting in now, right? Okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you might just have to refresh a bit. Yeah, it's loading on my screen now. Fancy new page. Yeah, there we go. And then, oh my gosh, let me see. I'm going to do this. Oops. Ultra. Here's a direct link to the Saturn 4 Ultra. Again, you might have to do these in different, your different countries. Cool. Man, that photo looks cool. The sort of translucent photo they got there. Stock photos. Okay. So that is, hopefully folks are getting in there and able to make their purchases on here. I've got a print going right now. I forgot to mention as well, just like with the Saturn 4, the Saturn 3 and the Saturn 3 Ultra, if you touch the touch screen, it toggles between like a percentage view versus the actual image view of the file that you're printing. Or if you wanted to click on the image again, it'll show you the actual the layer progress there of the progress of how it's printing. What image is actually being broadcast on the printer. You can sort of see that there. Let me do one of these things. I'm gonna maneuver this around again. See if I can, let me tilt this up for you guys as well. And then put some more light over there. Hopefully, it's a little, man, I don't know what's going on with this thing. Just the autofocus is driving me nuts on this. I'm going to have to sort that out afterwards. Okay. So, hopefully people are in there, able to make their purchases, jump back in here. They should have the heaters, I believe, up there listed as well. Now I am searching for that. Is that on there? May, do you have a link? Is the heater, can anybody confirm? Were you guys able to find the heater on the website? I don't know. Sorry, Warscape. I don't know if the build plate can actually be manually leveled. I've never. I don't even know how that would be, how that would work. Um, yeah. So far, I mean, other than that one, right when I first started the print, that was the only time that I've had any sort of leveling issue that popped up uh, while printing. But I'm imagining there must be with the bolts that are there. Maybe you can adjust those. I don't know. Those are like the tensioning rods, I believe. Oh, the heater is on the site. Okay, thank you. The heater will be shipping in August. Okay. August, I need it now. Actually, August would be good because it's springtime, starting to be springtime, starting to warm up. I'm not going to need the heater for the next few months, but come August, yes, I will. September, October through the winter. That's yes. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have going on here? Okay, so I am going to be posting the link here to the giveaway for the Saturn 4 and the Saturn 4 Ultra, and then you guys can jump in and join in on that while this is continuing to print here, and we can continue to chat and hang out for a bit. Lee Marie, yeah. I have just picked up these Sony cameras. This is this one right here is the ZV-1F that I really like. And then the other one that I'm having all the issues with autofocusing is the ZV-1, which I thought was the better of the two cameras, but for whatever reason, it's just causing me issue after issue with that autofocusing. I've probably got a setting somewhere in there that it needs to be turned off. Rexy, what part of metal versus plastic? I mean, the whole frame feels entirely metal. I think this is, no, it's a plasticky metal. I don't know. But the whole frame of this is all metal. I think the build plate is some kind of a hard plastic. Yeah, does the spring have some resin on it after printing? Not difficult to clean. I haven't had, the only issues that I had cleaning the build plate surface is, of course, you can't really, let me switch cameras here. There are two, there are two layers here. So obviously anything that like gets up here, it's super easy to clean. But there's the actual build plate, and then there's a gap in between that, and it's angled, which is awesome. So the resin will just kind of, if you let it sit there like I normally do, I'll, when I'm printing here with you guys, I'm going to be taking it directly off. But normally I let it sit for, I don't know, half an hour, and most of the resin drips off. It is kind of hard to get in there to thoroughly clean out any of the resin, but that's where if you wanted to just dunk the actual build plate, the actual plate portion in some resin, that would be the easiest way, or in resin, an IPA, that would be the easiest way to clean that. I wouldn't be dunking the entire build plate though into IPA. I don't know. As far as I've been told, yeah, that's the price, $3.99. So it's pretty awesome. It's fingers crossed. It's like that's locked in there at $3.99. Oh, sorry, no, I did not. Let me post the giveaway link. Yes, I just talked about posting the giveaway link, and then I didn't post the actual giveaway link. So let's do the giveaway for the printers here. We've got a. I'm going to post this, and I'm going to pin it here. So this should be the link to the big giveaway that we're going to be doing this morning, which is for the Saturn 4 and for a Saturn 4 Ultra. So two different individuals. Well, one person will win a Saturn 4, and one person will win a Saturn 4 Ultra. Elegoo will contact you. You can contact them after winning, and then correspond where those things need to be shipped off to, and then have it sent to you. If for whatever reason they can't send it to your country or your location, they typically will like pay you out in PayPal or whatever that is. So, show the bib. Is that what we're calling this? Is it a bib? No, it's a tray. It's a tray, my man. Show the bib. A bib, I mean, I guess it is a bib, but yes. So again, for anybody that hasn't seen it, and the only reason I put gloves on because I am continually dripping resin in this. So you see it's kind of resin tainted there. But yeah, this is just a plastic a drip tray that snaps directly onto the front. I almost snapped it in here. That would have been a horrible idea while this was printing. But yeah, it just snaps into place, and then when you remove the build plate, any excess resin drips into the drip tray instead of onto the front of your printer, or heaven forbid, down inside that crack right there where the mechanism is lifting and lowering here on the Saturn IV Ultra. Actually, Foxtamer, I'm excited to see what you end up printing with this, my man, and your take on this. You've been experiencing a lot more resin machines lately than I have. I've been having a blast with this. Again, I think, I jumped on here in the very beginning and stated it, and I will continue to state this. This is by far the easiest resin 3D printer that I have ever used. The big factor for me is, yes, this tilt mechanism allows you to print fast, which is really cool. But my big thing is I'm not monkeying around with basically any settings. The two settings that I've been playing around with is my exposure setting and my bottom exposure setting. And I've been more playing with my bottom exposure setting than anything because that build plate and that texture is gripping so well that I've been lowering it even more to try and get to the sweet spot where I can just pop prints off without having to butcher that plate at all. But it's been a nice change of pace not having to monkey around with the pause functions. How far does it need to lift up? What about the lift speeds, the lowering speeds? What about lift and lowering and the combination of those two? Yeah, no, it's just those two settings that I'm dealing with. And then again, on the printer itself, there's the low setting, the slow setting, and then the fast setting. And again, Elegoo, I would love to see a third option in there of like the vroom or the ultra fast or rapid printing where it goes even faster than this, because I believe it can probably go a smidge faster, and I would love to test that out and figure out how we can make it go even faster. So that's it's been a lot of fun playing around with this. Yeah, the tripod, that's awesome. Yeah, it literally is like you just need to figure out whatever resin you're working with, what exposure works well for the printer, and that's it. Like it just made it so much simpler to get to printing with this. Also, I do recommend, I'm a huge fan of Elegoo Rapid resin. It's very similar to Soriatech Fast resin, in my opinion. It's very viscous. Is that the term I'm looking for? Viscous? It's extremely, it's smooth flowing. It's like really, it's almost like water. And the more like water your resin is, the easier it is to print with, in my opinion. The lower your exposure settings can be. I still haven't even fully dialed in the exposure settings with this. And it's like I got it to a really low point and I'm printing with it. And I think I could go even lower, which would mean faster printing. And the quality looks really good, man. I'm so far, again, thrilled with how prints are coming off of this here. Is it going to focus on the tree head here? I mean, it's clean, super clean. Or here's a Fotis, my boy Fotis Mint. It's going to focus on me. Stop focusing on me. I turned off the product view. Focus on Hellboy. It's not going to focus on Hellboy. Maybe I should just hold it up to my face. But it's clean. I mean, as expected from a resin printer, it's really clean. But it's just been a nice change of pace, not having to spend a whole day monkeying around with test prints to try and find the optimal print settings for this. That's typically what I would go through with most of the viscosity. Thank you. Shaman, I have not tried using any just standard resin yet. I will. I'll pop in some of the thicker normal resin and try and work with that as well. Shouldn't be any problems with that. This is just my favorite so far. Yeah. Actually, does this? I don't think this has the ACF film on it, does it? Right? This doesn't have ACF film. Yeah, this has the normal PFA film, not the ACF film. So that was something that was, I think, Foxhammer was calling out that he was seeing mixed results with the ACF film that was coming, like was very popular last year, and excited to see that the PFA film is what's being used here. But you could always swap that out if you wanted to. By the way, if you haven't already seen the link in the comments, there is a link for the giveaway. We're giving away the Saturn 4 and the Saturn 4 Ultra to some lucky winners here. Yeah. Yeah, no ACF film. That's great. And this is at 45% done. Yep. It's got about 20 minutes left. Oh my goodness. Oh, is that the broken nerd in here? Yeah, this is easily, just because of how simple it's been to work with. Yes, it's by far one of my favorite. I'm excited to see if there's a Mars coming that has this functionality. I don't know if it will have a tilt function on the Mars. That would be really cool. But so far, hands down, like this is going to end up being my new go-to resin printer just because of how simple, like dead simple it is to use. Man, I keep taking my gloves off. I don't want to put the gloves on, so I'm going to pinch the gloves to this so I'm not holding resin. But the drip tray is an awesome addition to this. The tilting vat for the quicker speeds. Again, I called out earlier here in the stream when I held up the vat. The vat has a new design. Elegoo's not even calling this out. Elegoo, you should be calling this out. It's got a great new design with the lips that are on the edges, so the pour spouts just work so much better so that the resin isn't like pouring over the sides when you go to pour it back into a bottle or into a funnel. It's just a cleaner process. And there's two of them, one in each corner, which I've been complaining about for years now, that they've addressed. And I don't know if it was for me, but it might have been just from other people as well, just their own design. But I love that there's one in each corner so that now when I take it out, I don't have to flip the vat around to pour it out, because normally the pour spout was always in the back corner and I'd have to take it out, turn it around, then I could pour it out. So this just makes it take it out, pour. Again, those minor things can make some big improvements with your overall workflow when it comes to daily working with these printers. And I should have mentioned from the very beginning, apologies. I have had a cold all week, and I'm slowly but surely trying to get over this. So I'm dying to blow my nose here. Vat lips. Is that what we're calling that? Is the giveaway working? Sorry, I saw one person say that the giveaway wasn't working. Yeah, the vat tray is included. I didn't print that vat tray. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to try and 3D scan and so you can print a vat tray. I want to print a vat tray now. Like I want to design and print a vat tray. Man, that's a cool idea. I didn't even think about 3D printing one. Yeah, the vat tray comes with this. Or as Foxhammer called it, the bib. Your printer bib comes with the printer. Okay, Gleam is working, just going a little slow. Okay. Great to hear. Yeah, I think apologies on the slowness there. Let's see. Man, it is really slow. It's super slow for me as well. I'm just trying to load up the giveaway. Let me see. Oh, okay. Sorry, I did get a quick update. Sorry, the lid is plastic and the build plate is aluminum alloy. So someone was asking about the that. How replaceable do the parts look for the tilting function? I don't know. I haven't taken apart the printer. I probably won't take apart the printer. I hope it doesn't ever break. No, I don't think so. I'm gonna Nazareth. I'm gonna go with my mispronunciation over the proper pronunciation all day, every day. We hard pronounce here in America the X's. So no, I thought the back vat spout was for future auto resin fill. Ooh, maybe Ed. I don't know. Maybe Elegoo's working on something cool in the future where you can plug in a resin auto feeder back there. I mean, there is the port back there that you could potentially open up to put something back there. Would be interesting to see. Let me flip back over to this. You can see that tilting again. Never back down. I'm never wrong. Never wrong. I'm always wrong. More often wrong than correct. Yeah, so make sure that you are entering in the giveaway. The giveaway is it's slow loading. So make sure to take your time, get in there. We'll give it away here in just a little bit. I have I was gonna say I have more prints to show, but I do have more prints to show, but I don't want to show those because I need to save some stuff for the video. I need to save some stuff for the video here. Let me move that out of the way. I do love this. Let me not stand here. Let me see if I can do this to show you guys this print. Let's see if this will focus better. A Batista. Can you? There we go. This is cured, by the way. I just left the supports on it. But yeah, it's super clean. These are all by Photosment. He even included the little Dave Batista forehead wrinkles up top there. And then here is his Hellboy. Why is this not wanting to focus? Focus, my man. Oh my God, why was that zoomed in so much? There we go. Yeah, look at that. Super clean. The print's great. Honestly, just print's really good. Here's the tree, the forest skull here. That'd make for a really cool planter. Got a bunch of plants here. Okay. Let me turn this back around this way. Hopefully this doesn't wig out now that I just did that. Let's move it in here. Okay. Any other? What can I answer question wise for you guys? Because yeah, the difference again between the two printers. So the Saturn 4 is the Saturn 4 and the Saturn 4 Ultra. The Saturn 4 Ultra has the tilting vat here that you'll see as this is doing. So it's going to allow it to print a little bit faster. The Saturn 4 is just your standard, it's a flat display screen, and then the build plate is going to lift up and down. And then the Saturn 4 Ultra has Wi-Fi, and then for wireless printing, and then it also has the AI camera on here. So not only can you remotely monitor your prints, but as it's printing, if it's detecting that like supports are failing or things like that, then you'll get notifications about that on the printer, or it'll help you diagnose those before continuing on. But both of the machines have the auto bed leveling, which is amazing, and then both of them have the sensors built in that should help detect any foreign objects or anything like that. There's no screen protector on it. I did leave the included little plastic film that's on the screen. I left mine on, and it's printing just fine with it on there. I'd like to leave those on when possible to help further protect the screen. But I believe it's still the that's like a laminated glass or something like that, I believe, if I remember correctly. Some kind of glass on there. It should be easier to clean off any cured resin that might end up on there. Yeah, I don't know how the setup for the heater that you can like that Elegoo's now selling, how that setup goes all in. I don't have one, so I can't tell you how that's going to be wired or plugged in or what. There's no ports here on the side, so I would imagine it might go out through the exhaust port in the back, or maybe it's like situated there in that opening. I don't know off the top of my head. I'll have to see how that goes once I get one. Where did you get the name Resin Dragon Studios? Yeah. Yeah, so Uncle Jesse has been my longtime Xbox handle for like 20 years now. It's been originally, if you go back and look, my content used to be Xbox related, and then I slowly transitioned into 3D printing stuff. So that's where it originated from, or why I've been going by Uncle Jesse for so long. Yeah, my name's not even Jesse, so which is the fun part. So especially on Facebook, when I post under my real Facebook account, my private, like my actual Facebook, everything else online is Uncle Jesse, but on Facebook is my real name. Is there a drop off in quality leaving that protective film on? Not that I've seen. I don't think so. I don't see any difference between using that and any sort of screen protector. Maybe there's a smidge of difference there, but not that I could visibly see. Maybe if I brought that under a microscope or telescoping camera, I'd be able to see that. Yeah. Yeah, overall thoughts between this and the Saturn III Ultra. This definitely prints faster. I mentioned it earlier. In my video, I'll give you like the full breakdown comparison. But this, out of the box, without me tweaking anything other than just setting the exposure for the resin, prints faster than my thoroughly dialed in Saturn III Ultra with Vroom settings. So that to me was like the most impressive. But loving the fact that it has the auto bed leveling on there. Like it's the first time in a while that I've like not had to just think about or be concerned with it at all. I've had zero issues other than when we started the first print where it was like, hey, it can't like it detected something, or the build plate leveling failed. So, but yeah, this has been a fantastic upgrade. Especially if you're coming from an earlier machine, an earlier Saturn, or maybe a smaller Resin 3D printer, to this would be a massive upgrade. Saturn 3 to this, it's probably going to be like a little bit of an upgrade, just because of the speed and some of the functionality in here. But with the AI functionality and the auto leveling, but not a massive one. But coming from the earlier versions to this, it would definitely be a big upgrade. I'm still like hands down easiest Resin 3 printer I've ever worked with. This thing is just, it's wildly cool to work with. Yes, real name John D. Stamos. And also, I look like more of an Uncle Joey than an Uncle Jesse. So. Yeah, I know the price. Isn't it crazy? The pricing. So they messaged me and were like, "Hey, so here's the pricing for this." I was like, "Oh, okay. So that's like the I don't know, like the first 100 people are going to get it at that price, and then it goes up." And they're like, "No, that's the price." I was like, "Wait, what? That was not what I was expecting." That's a fantastic pricing for these machines. Heck yeah. Thoughts on this versus the Jupiter? I don't know. Like, this is going to be easier to work with than the Jupiter, just because the Jupiter is so big. But obviously, if you need to print big resin things, the Jupiter is going to be the way to go. I do prefer the Jupiter SE over the standard Jupiter. It's lighter, and no one else is moving their printers around. I constantly am moving my printers around for videos, so being able to lift the Jupiter SE up onto a tabletop here is like way easier. It's so much lighter than the regular Jupiter. Both of the print qualities are pretty much the same on the Jupiters, but this is going to be, you know, it's a kind of these print and forget type things. I don't even worry. Like, I'm wirelessly sending prints from the other room to this machine and not even coming in to check on them. Normally it's like, all right, let me double check that everything's going down right. I'll pause it after a few percentages there, let it lift up, see if everything's stuck to the build plate. Not even worried with that anymore. Ooh, a bigger DLP printer would be really cool. I'm waiting to see how, like, with DLP, if that technology with the screen, because the DLP with the screens has always been the resolution with that. Yeah. Let's see. Again, if you want to get in on the edge of tech, the heck, man, you don't need to be doing no donations here. Thank you, sir. Um, the giveaway, if you haven't already done that, is linked there. It's slow going for the giveaway for that to load. This is at 99%. It's like going to be done here in just a second. So we're going to load this up. I'm going to show that print off. I don't know if I'm going to get it off the build plate or not because it's probably going to be messy. But there we go. This print just finished. Let me cut the camera over. You can see it lifting out. Get some gloves on here. Yeah, thoughts on the camera. Yeah, the camera, it's nice being able to look at that. You obviously can't see the camera while, sorry, let me swip this back over. You can't, oh my goodness. Dropping everything. You, when the print first starts, like when that, or a really shallow or small print, the camera, you're not going to be able to see it. But as soon as it's out of the bed, so anything that you're printing long, you're able to view that camera from remotely. So I was in my office and able to editing a video and able to check on the print to see how it was printing directly from that little camera there, which is a nice little feature to have. Again, and it'll have that functionality of checking it. I haven't had any print fails, so I can't confirm. I was actually joking with Jeff Turner here in the chat, like, how can I screw up a print to test this out? Like, do I have to go in there and like knock off a whole bunch of supports and then see what happens? I'm not entirely sure. Not quite sure how to trigger a whole bunch of the notifications that they have built into it. But let me put the drip tray on. So again, drip tray snaps into place. This locking the latching build plate, so good, so good, so good. So here, I should have poured that back into the vat there a little bit. Again, normally I let these sit for a bit. We're not going to be able to see this, are we? Hold on. Can I zoom this in? I can zoom this in. Here we go. Here is APGZ's. This is his print in place. It's the Jeep kit, and I scaled this up to, I think, 150% scale, something like that, to try and fit a lot of the build plate here. This was a 35-minute print. It was a 35-minute print here, and it'll be fun to get this off of the build plate here. I'm not going to do that with you guys. Yeah, how do you properly clean the top of the build plate? That was one of my calls. So this part here, really easy to clean. Normally here, like this is, it might not be able to see it, but this is like a rooftop sort. It's angled here. So resin drips down from the side. So it's pretty easy for that to clean off. But if you want to do a thorough cleaning there, I've dumped mine in IPA just to clean that off, and then used paper towels to get my hands in there and clean that out. I'm going to set this back in here for now, and we'll do the giveaway. And then I'll monkey around with this. I'll show that print off. I'll post that up on Twitter and stuff here afterwards. Sorry, I just want to clean this up. Don't like standing here in resin. Okay. And then I can zoom out of this. There we go. Okay. All right, let's do this. So I'll let you guys, I'll do it for another 2 minutes because I know the site's running low, and then we'll do the giveaways here. Again, we have a giveaway that we're doing for a Saturn 4 and one of these Saturn 4 Ultras. I don't have my glove. I just took my gloves off. I was going to lower this lid. I'm going to try and lower the lid a little. No, it's not going to work. I've got the bib on there. I'm going to start calling it a bib now. Fox hammer, faux hammer, faux hammer. Nobody calling you faux hammer. Come on, man, fox hammer. Fox hammer. I'm gonna call you that. But this is the camera here. Let me turn this over here. Yeah, so we got the Saturn. We've got the Saturn 4 Ultra and then the Saturn 4 that we're giving away. If you want to, you can click on that link and that will take you to the Gleam website where you can check that out. Yeah, pinned link in the comments here to enter, and you should have another minute or two to do that. I'm going to post that again here if you're interested in that. And then you call it a bib too. Man, that's a drip. It's a drip plate. Yeah, Kevin, man, 3D printing props. I do need to get a remote for the. Well, I just got these 2 new cameras specifically to start doing more streaming with. The one, I've got to figure out what's going on with the autofocusing. I think this one's okay. And what's funny is this was the cheaper of the 2 Sony cameras. By the way, if you're looking for cameras, Best Buy open box deals are pretty good. Is this focusing on me? I can't tell if it's. I don't have. Normally I have like the Sony app set up for my other camera, but I can't tell if it's focusing on me or not. A drip bib. Yeah, we'll let this run for a few minutes and then we'll do the covering. Needing nerdy props, man. No need to do that. Oh, thanks for tagging on this, man. And thanks for joining the live stream. Thank you for that donation. You did not need to do that. Please. A drip bib. Geek Detour. What's going on, man? Let's see. Yeah, I know. I used to have, I was all Canon before this. I've now switched over to the dark side or the autofocus side of Sony, which was supposed to have the better autofocusing. At least I've got the audio sorted now. Beginning, man, my audio was way off, apparently. Let's see here. We will do this here in just a minute. I want to give you guys just another minute to do this. We have a ton of people that have entered, so thank you for that. Excited. Again, we're giving away a Saturn 4 and a Saturn 4 Ultra. So 1 winner for each, and then we'll get Elegoo to get those out to you guys here once those are available for shipping. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, Nazareth, man. I love the idea of that. I can't remember if it was you or someone else said they thought it was 3D printed. I love the idea of 3D printing a bib for this. Man, I'm not going to call this a bib. It's a drip tray. It is not a bib. Maybe it should be a bib. I don't know. But I love the idea of a 3D, like a customized version of this that you can plug on there. That's just such a cool concept. It's a really fun, unique thing. But yes. Oh, by the way, yeah, I did see another comment. Yes, the Saturn 4 Ultra, it does come with the drip tray. That's on there. It's 100% a bib. Man, all you guys in the bib. The bib. I don't know about the bib. That's just seems wonky to me. Oh, I am so sick right now. Perfect time for a cold. Let's see here. All right. I think I've given it enough time. Hopefully you all have had a chance to get in there, and submit an entry for the giveaway. I am going to draw the winners. And I will give it another second here. I'll give it another second. I'll give it another second if you're still racing to get in there. Bib Gang. All right, I'm drawing the winner. Let's see. We got okay, I've got the two winners. So for the Saturn 4 is going to a Vincent Flaherty. And then for the Saturn 4 Ultra is going to a Cheery Morin. So again, I'm going to be screen grabbing this, passing it along to my friends over at Elegoo. And then I'll be reaching out to the winners as well as I'm sure Elegoo will be reaching out to you guys as well for that. If you are, again, interested in picking up a Elegoo Saturn 4 or the Saturn 4 Ultra, you can head on over to Elegoo's website and grab one of those there. The comments is pinned there, so in case you're rewatching this for whatever reason and decide to stick around to the very end of the stream, you'll now be able to click on that as well. But yeah, congratulations to the winners. I want to say thanks so much for everybody that's joined and hung out here this morning for the giveaway. This has been a fun one here. And thank you anybody that used those affiliate links for purchasing your Saturn 4 or Saturn 4 Ultra or one of the heaters. Again, as soon as I get my hands on one of the heaters, you'll definitely be seeing a video from me. I have a video that I'm working on that will be coming out here in the next few days on the Saturn 4 Ultra and my experience with it so far. And it has been nothing short of stellar. I'm so happy with how simple this thing is to use and how fast it is to print with out of the box. Like zero tweaking is what's kind of blowing my mind with how easy this printer is to work with. Hey, thanks everybody for watching the stream and hanging in here. But yes, yes, I have an affiliate link. It should be pinned there. And then you should be able to get that going. Yeah, smash that like button. I don't think I've ever said that in a video. I refuse to ever say anything remotely like that. Even though it doesn't count. It's a live stream. Hey, I'm going to get out of here. I need to take a cough drop and blow my nose. But thanks so much for hanging out this morning. And congrats to Elegoo on launching another set of awesome 3D printers. And we'll be doing this again soon. Make sure to check out the video